What is going on, you guys? Steven here today. I'm bringing you guys a brand new video. You guys already know what I'm doing today though. We are going to be doing the full review and shooting test. Let me stand all the way back here so this can actually fit in the camera frame. The full review and shooting test of this beautiful ICS CXP-MMR DMR. Now, if you guys are interested in picking one of these up, I'll have a link in the description to Fox Airsoft where you guys can go ahead and pick this up for $420. All you got to do is click the link in the description. It'll take you to a page on Fox Airsoft's website because they're the ones hosting this giveaway. Just click the link, it'll take you to a page. All you got to do is fill out your first name, your last name, and then your email address, and you're good to go. And I believe this contest is going until December 31st. All right, so you have like over a month. If you're watching this on the day it comes out, this video that is, you have like over a month to enter the contest. So you have a lot of time. All right, and the last thing I want to plug before we go ahead and jump into this review is if you guys haven't seen the unboxing video of this beast right here and you want to check it out, the link for that will be in the description as well. All right, let's get to the review. All right, so starting at the front here, starting with the plastic orange flash hider, you probably can go ahead and remove this and go ahead and put on a full metal black flash hider or a suppressor, whatever you want. Anyways though, moving on to the outer barrel right here, obviously it is a full metal outer barrel. You can only see a little sliver of it because it goes all the way the length of the rail system, obviously. And man, look at this M-LOK rail system. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. So you have tons and tons of space to go ahead and put whichever accessories you want on this thing. Anyways though, so moving on to the middle of the gun right here. So here we have the upper and lower receivers. They are full metal, obviously. This is a full metal AEG. All right, but yeah, so one thing I kind of glanced over that I'm just now realizing is the front flip-up iron sight. Hopefully my camera will focus. There we go. There it is. So yeah, it is a front flip-up iron sight. Same thing with the rear iron sight, which we'll get to in just a second. But you can go ahead and adjust this middle post with this little dial right here. But yeah, so there is the rear iron sight. Again, obviously, just like the front, it is a flip-up iron sight. And you can go ahead and adjust the middle aperture right here to the left or to the right with these dials once again. But since we're here, we might as well just talk about the charging handle. The charging handle has these extended wings, which I absolutely love. It looks so much better than just a standard charging handle. So just go ahead and pull these and it will reveal your hop-up system right there. So one thing that I didn't even realize, but I realized once I was editing the video, is that this is an electric blowback AEG. So what that means is this little fake bolt right here, this goes back and forth each time you shoot. And I didn't know that when I was doing the unboxing video, so that's kind of cool. Regardless though, I'll be sure to show you guys that in action when we get to the shooting test. But moving right down to the mag release, this probably has to be one of my favorite mag releases that has come out of the box on any M4 because of this little extended tab that you just rest your finger on. Anyways, so I guess we could talk about the mag real quick. This is just a standard ICS M4 high cap magazine. So for all you newbies out there that don't know what a high cap means, basically you just have a wind-up wheel on the bottom and then you have a trap door on top that you open up and you just pour a whole bunch of BBs in. Moving back to the trigger and trigger guard, just a standard M4 trigger, and then you have the trigger guard right here, which is just angled a little bit. So if you have wearing gloves or something like that, it just gives you a little bit more room and it just gives a little sharper look, more aggressive look to the gun. Now to probably my least favorite part or piece, aspect, whatever you want to call it, of the gun has to be the motor grip, because I mentioned this in the unboxing video. Hopefully my camera will focus. There we go. It has all these like little edged teeth right there. If you guys can see that, they're like little teeth. And it looks cool, but they really prick your hand. And like if you're holding this nice and tight and you're running on the field, you're making sure you don't drop this thing and you're holding it tight, dude, watch here. Let me hold it kind of tight. Watch, I'll show you guys. Look at my hand. Hopefully it focuses. There we go. Dude, it like really, eats at your hand. But yeah, I think it looks cool. It's just, I don't know, in terms of comfort, a whole day on the field using this thing, and if you're not wearing gloves, I think it can get pretty uncomfortable pretty fast. Regardless though, let's go ahead and move on to the back here. So really quickly, just want to show you guys the rear sling attachment points right there, and then you have another one of those on the opposite side of the stock, obviously. But speaking about the stock, this is a very, standard, iconic looking stock for any DMR. And so basically, if you want to go ahead and raise the cheek rest, it does, just like that. Just scroll the wheel and the cheek rest rises. So just go ahead and do that and then scroll it the other way to go ahead and put it back down. And there we go, flush. Now, if you want to go ahead and extend this rubberized butt pad, all you got to do is go ahead and turn it this way. And as you guys can see, it is coming out. Now, one very unique feature on this stock is if I go ahead and get close for you guys, let me do that. So if you guys can see that lock and unlock little emblems engraved into the stock itself, you're gonna need to go ahead and get a flathead, twist this to the right until the screw basically is pointing to the unlock symbol, and then this whole piece just comes off, and this is where your battery is going to be stored. So let me go ahead and grab a flathead and I'll show you guys. All right, so this is going to be kind of hard doing it backwards because I want to make sure it's showing on camera. But just get your flathead and then twist it to the unlock position, just like so. And then this thing should just fall right on off. Yep, just like so. I told you, this big piece just comes off. And there is your battery compartment space, which is probably the second thing I would complain about this gun, you know, other than the motor grip, is that the battery compartment space, not a lot of it. But yeah, so this is this side of the gun. So let me go ahead and flip it around. So on the opposite side, I'm just gonna quickly go through it. You know, there's nothing really too different besides the fire selector switch, which is just a standard fire selector switch. So we have safe, semi, and then full auto. And then really the only other difference is we have some trades. So ICS CXP, you got the logo and then some more, you know, stuff written down there. And then over here, what does that say again? Oh, Airsoft electric gun, manufactured by ICS Taiwan ROC. I believe I read that properly. And yeah, other than that, you guys, that's pretty much everything in terms of the externals. I think I went over that relatively quickly. Hopefully I did. Watch, I'll go back to edit this thing and it's still gonna be like 7-8 minutes just me talking about the external. Alright, so now in terms of internals, you guys, starting with the spring, you get an M120 spring out of the box. Obviously, this is a DMR, so it's supposed to be shooting a little bit strong. So they say you're supposed to be getting anywhere from 390 to 410 FPS, and we will be testing that out, obviously, to see how accurate that really is. Not only that, but this also comes with an inline MOSFET to protect your trigger contact, so don't be afraid to go ahead and use an 11-1 with this guy. Alright, and last but not least, you guys, since this is an ICS gun, obviously it has ICS's split gearbox. So you could go ahead, if you have any other ICS gun that has, you know, a split gearbox, you could go ahead and just swap a whole bunch of different uppers and lowers, and just, you know, you can have, the combinations are legit endless, but obviously it depends on which one you have. But yeah, you guys, I think that covers everything in terms of the externals and the internals, you know, worth mentioning, that is. So let's go ahead now, let's get into the fun part and let's get into the shooting test. So let me go grab my fully charged 11-1, some .2s, let's fill the mag up, and let's get to it. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed those little shooting clips. However, I gotta mention something before we get into the chrono test. I should have mentioned this before we started shooting this thing. However, just like most ICS guns, this too has ICS's spring tension release lever. So for those that don't know what that is or what that means, I'm sure most of us do, but if you go ahead and flip this thing to safe, say you're on semi or full auto or whatever, and then you're done for the day and you flip this thing to safe, everybody listen. Steven and post, cut the music right now. Stop the music. Everybody listen. You hear that? It basically just released all the tension, because right there the spring was like half cocked or whatever, because in between shots sometimes a spring just, you know, gets half cocked or whatever, and when that happens there is so much stress and tension on the gearbox that it's just not good for it. So every time you're done shooting this thing, and like basically every other ICS AEG, if you flip this thing back to safe, it releases the spring, it decocks it, it releases all the tension, it releases all the stress on the gearbox, and you know, it's a really nice feature, and I think more manufacturers should really start implementing this. But yeah, so for all you newbies out there, the more you know. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the chrono test. I got the chrono program for .20s. I got .20s in the mag, fully charged 11-1. Let's go ahead and see how hot this thing is shooting. Again, it's supposed to be shooting anywhere from 390 to 410 with .20s. So let's go ahead and see what this thing is actually shooting. 418.6, 426.7, 424.8, 431.4, it's only going up. 433.3, 426.9, 428.6, 428.5, 427.2, and 424.7. So I want to say anywhere from 425 to 430 FPS with 0.2s. Granted, this is brand spanking new, so the spring has to be worn in, so the FPS will probably drop a little bit, but still expect well above 400 FPS with a worn-in spring. Anyways, so let's go ahead and test out full auto, so rounds per second. Let's go ahead and flip this guy to full auto. Here we go. 20.1 rounds per second, and that little burst was at 429.5 feet per second. 20.1, 20, and 19.9. So let's just, stick with the middle. Let's just say 20 rounds per second. I just realized, you guys, that last burst was 20 rounds per second at 448.6 feet per second. Are you kidding me? Regardless though, if we just stick with 20 rounds per second, if you guys want to know what that is rounds per minute, that is 1200 rounds per minute. Regardless though, let's go ahead and let's get into the accuracy test. All right, you guys, so I was shooting kind of far, probably like 70 to 80 feet, somewhere around there. I pushed it back a little bit farther than I normally do my shooting tests, and that's because this thing is shooting so damn hard. And even at that distance, this thing is hitting the target with some pretty damn good amounts of force. But regardless though, for a hand-sized target at like 70 to 80 feet, this thing is a freaking monster. But then again, this thing is supposed to be doing that, especially even at further distances than 70 to 80 feet, because it's shooting well above 400 FPS with 0.20s, and it's, a DMR. It's in its actual name. So with that being said though, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the damage test. All right, so here it is. We absolutely shredded this thing. There's one piece, and there's the second piece. I gotta make sure to pick up all these little metal shavings and stuff before my dog steps on them and gets injured. But yeah, I think that's a job well done. All right, you guys, I think that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this review. I absolutely love this gun. The performance is absolutely outstanding. The trigger response feels amazing. The electric blowback feature is a nice little gimmick. It's cool, for me personally. And in terms of looks, the externals, you can't go wrong. This thing is just absolutely gorgeous. So again, you guys, if you want to go ahead and pick yourself up one of these, the link for that will be in the description. Again, $420. And if you want to win one of these absolutely free, or a chance to win one of these absolutely free, a link for the giveaway will be in the description as well. Anyways, you guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys Wednesday with a brand new video.